performance by the Grandview School. The bell choir is always, it's one of my favorites, absolutely one of my favorites. We're going to go right into our student representatives report. We have Ms. Bovee and Ms. Scotto here this evening, so
Okay.
here we go.
On April 6th, the jazz band performed and competed against other bands in the 24th Annual Livingston Jazz Festival held at Livingston High School. After the performance, the group got to work with a coalition on stage, receiving constructive criticism and ways to make the music even stronger. At the award ceremony, the jazz band won a silver rating and awarded Colby Royston and Christian Aguillon as best soloists from the group. Furthermore, the Piscataway Jazz Band is hosting their first jazz festival Saturday, April 27th at 3 p.m. in the Pack. Tickets are $10. Food and refreshments will be sold. It will be a wonderful night celebrating jazz. Following the Livingston Jazz Festival on April 9th through the 14th, both the Jazz Band and the Super Chief Marching Band got the opportunity to visit Florida to play and march in Disney World. The Jazz Band performed at Disney Springs on the 11th, and the Marching Band marched down on Main Street in Magic Kingdom as part of a parade on the 12th. Students also got the opportunity to work with a professional musician hired with Disney and play excerpts from Disney movie scores in the Your Instrumental Music Workshop. Both bands were awarded with trophies honoring their effort and achievement for performing with Disney. Additionally, the Triumph Music Honor Society inducted its new members on Wednesday, April 24th. Triumph stands for Modern Music Masters and advocates not only musicianship but also citizenship. The group represents its pride in giving back to the community and giving the music program a voice. Their 2019 to 2020 inductees embody what it means to serve for Triumph and how to make it a great next chapter. The Improv Club held their annual improv show on Thursday, April 25th at 7 p.m. Within their show, they performed a number of comedic skits and acting games meant for on-the-spot reaction. Following this, the acting classes at Piscataway are hosting the Director's Showcase taking place on May 9th and 10th, where students will perform a variety of both original and already published works.
On the last week of March, 46 members of the Piscataway High School chapter of the Future Business Leaders of America, also known as FBLA, traveled to Atlantic City for the New Jersey FBLA State Leadership Conference. Joining over 2,300 other students, PHS students learned to compete, network, and seek leadership positions, as well as they learned multiple college and career skills. Many of the participating students were elected as state officers and others received special recognitions. Additionally, many PHS students qualified for the National Leadership Conference in San Antonio, Texas. On April 1st, NJDOE hosted its first student preparation on realistic training, or SPORT for short, at PHS. This program strives to prepare student athletes for a successful transition into college. Students playing on the varsity level were chosen to participate and were offered an open dialogue within the panel that consisted of former athletes and health and education professionals. So lastly, there are also a couple of dates that I don't ask you to remember if you would like. The Piscataway 5K takes place this Sunday, April 28th at 9 a.m. And the PHS Annual Art Show was just announced that it's going to take place in the Anthony Library on Thursday, May 23rd from 6 to 8 p.m.
Okay, any questions?
I assume you're featured in the art show.
Got a bunch. Yeah.
Good job.
And then the AP classes, we usually sell like cards, and I think we're making canvas bags. So there's that kind of, maybe jewelry too, I think they were talking
Okay.
about.
Oh, good.
So we're going to be busy this month, yeah.
And what day is that?
Thursday, May 23rd.
23rd. Okay.
Where
And-
is it again?
Sorry.
It's in the Anthony Library.
Um,
I know
So-
there's
Zoe-
like a nighttime thing at like 6 to 8, and then sometimes it's open during the day. I don't know. So the week after, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Zoe reported on the band, but failed to mention that she was also in Disney and marched and was a part of that excellent experience. So congratulations. It was awesome. Okay.
So when was the sort of jazz? When did you mention?
Oh, it's April
Saturday.
27th. This
April-
Saturday.
This Saturday.
Yeah.
This Saturday. What time and where?
3 o'clock.
Yeah.
In the back.
There's since it's our first one.
Oh, okay.
Um,
It's not the one they've done in the past. That's the.
No, I was going to mention it tonight.
Oh, right.
Oh,
I should
okay.
have put that in. Jazz Under the Stars.
It's not Jazz Under the Stars,
It's
right?
not, oh, it's not. Okay.
It's
No.
different. June
Yeah.
7th is
That's
Jazz Under the
later.
Stars.
Oh,
This is like similar to, there's 4 bands and they compete. It's like a marching band competition, but for jazz
Oh,
band, if that makes
okay.
sense.
Like the band festival that's in September.
But it's just jazz.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it doesn't-
Okay. Any questions? Anyone else? Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Good night, thank you.
You gotta get back on a bus and drive to Florida.
No. Please, anything but that.
The memories you made.
Yeah.
Please. Okay. So I have a few things this evening. They took most of my stuff right off of my list. So I did want to bring up a couple of things that they didn't talk about, and I am going to go, I might mention, like the Jazz Festival again. So please, if you have an opportunity to RSVP for the volunteer recognition, which is going to be on May 4th. Traditionally, the volunteer recognition was during the week. It was on a Monday, I think, or Mondays or Tuesday evenings. So if you don't look carefully at the invitation, you might miss the fact that it is actually going on a Saturday this year from 9 to 12, I believe. Yeah. So that's a little different. And I think what we're trying to do is to sort of build up folks to join
To
us.
see if it might be more convenient for
Right.
people to come in the morning.
It is difficult for people.
It says
to get up.
9:30.
Yeah, breakfast, it's 9:30.
You just said 9, just saying 9:30.
I think I can make it then. I thought it was at 9. That's okay. That's all right.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so if everybody can RSVP for that, that would be great, so that we know who's going to be there. I know Mrs. DePan is going to speak about the book club, which is on Tuesday evening. She's going to bring that up a little bit later. So I just wanted to sort of piggyback on what Zoe spoke about. I have the wonderful opportunity, probably, I guess it's like for the 6th year, to travel with the band to Disney. And, it is a 24-hour bus ride. But it's something that I'm going to cherish for the rest of my life. I got to see both of my children on marching on Main Street and Disney, which was incredibly, unless you're there, you can't really, understand to have that castle behind you and everything. The other piece of it is that there were 4 bands that marched on Main Street that day, and Piscataway happened to be the largest of the bands, just randomly,
Yeah.
because they have performers there all of the time. But because they were so large, they put them at the end, and they just came down that Main Street with just thousands of people just cheering them on. Just people from all over the world, and they were outstanding. They performed so well, and it was 90-something degrees outside, and they were in those heavy uniforms, and they didn't stop playing for 15 minutes. So I just wanted to share with you what an amazing experience that was, and that these kids really worked hard. They went to Disney, and I think people think that they go to Disney and they just have a good time. They literally had hours of good time, and then had to head over to workshops and do all sorts of things. So it was an amazing experience, and it's something that they're going to cherish for the rest of their lives, and that's the reason I wanted Zoe to make sure she mentioned that she was there and she was a part of that. The jazz band did perform in Disney Springs. It was a smaller, more intimate audience, but it was also a wonderful performance. So I just want to give kudos to the band and to the directors, and also to the many families that actually flew out to Florida. To be there. We had so many families that were there. These kids were not only looking at people from all over the world, but their moms and their dads and their cousins, and folks came out to see them in Disney, so that was wonderful. Just to clarify, the jazz competition is on Saturday. It's at 3 o'clock. I'm actually, Rebecca Starlacki and myself are coordinating and supporting them. It is the first annual jazz competition. Piscataway has never hosted a jazz competition, so they will be adjudicated. So there are 3 bands right now coming. We also have the middle school that will be performing, which is awesome because we're sort of introducing them into the adjudication process and the competition process way beforehand. The middle school jazz bands are amazing, and so they will be there as well. It starts at 3 o'clock. If you are all interested, we would love to have folks out there supporting these kids, and we have 3 different schools that will be there also to compete. Hopefully next year it'll be bigger. Okay, so please, if you would make sure that you reach out to your liaison schools. wherever that may be, and make sure that you get a calendar from them. We have been blessed to be getting that calendar on a weekly basis. I mean, it really is a wonderful idea so that we're getting those dates weekly and we're not forgetting. There's so many things. Our schedules are jam-packed, but if you would reach out to your liaison schools and ask if there are any events that they would like you to be at, or if there's anything that's fun and interesting for you, I just hopefully would love to see all of us at as many events as we can possibly get to. Just as a reminder, they always put chairs for us up on that stage. So they're always prepared for us to be there. So if you would just sort of check out your schedules, and it is a commitment, and I recognize that, but the more events that you can go to, the more these kids feel like we care and that we are there for them. So Teacher Appreciation Week is May 6th through the 10th. Emma and Zoe both mentioned the P-Way 5K on Sunday. And we have various end-of-year celebrations of academics and arts, concerts and other performances, as well as Honor Society inductions in the coming weeks. And so some of the highlights, just to make sure you have some dates, Friday and Saturday, May 3rd and 4th is the PHS Dance Concert. Thursday and Friday, May 9th and 10th, Thursday and Friday, is the PHS Director Showcase, which they mentioned. And then students will be competing in spelling bees, field days, carnivals, and family fun nights. And I believe that is it. That's all I have for this evening. Thank you, everyone. So I will
Thank
turn
you.
this over to the superintendent.
And I might add that at the jazz performance in Florida, I received a beautiful video of Isabella Lopez performing with a wonderful backdrop there. So I know the board president likes to give a lot of credit to our other students, but she also happens to parent a very talented young woman with a beautiful voice, but a good instrumentalist as well. So thank you for sending that. This week, I had the pleasure of going to another athletic signing. And I mention this because that brings to this school year 25 Piscataway High School seniors who are going on to play at the next level and who have received scholarship assistance for athletics. There are about 5 more that still have yet to make decisions. They're still, I guess, negotiating with the colleges. But as our athletic director says, there's usually only about 3 to 5% of high school athletes who get to play at the college level. And this year alone on our football team, 7 students are going on to play at the college level, and they're going to good schools. And I bring it to the board's attention because I think what it reflects is increased collaboration between our coaches, the athletic department, and our counseling department, which the counselors have really been doing a good job of trying to educate young people who want to play at the next level about the academic requirements that are also involved. And that's one of the reasons why so many of our students are able to get scholarships and to play as well. So I just wanted to give kudos to our students. Unfortunately, at most of our board meetings, there is always a gentleman sitting right behind Mrs. Pongratz over there named John Tarana. John is the president of the Orchestra Parents Association, and he's been a fixture at our board meetings. He also happens to be one of the officials at Erickson, the Erickson office complex on route on Hose Lane. And as you know, Erickson at one point had about 8,000 employees on Hose Lane. They have, he said, 230 right now. And they are about to move to new offices on River Road, and they were disposing of lots and lots of office equipment. And we were very fortunate to be the recipient of many desks, file cabinets, chairs, round tables, credenzas, all sorts of things, and as well as other districts. I mean, we were not the only ones to benefit, but I will tell you that the parent resource centers that we have been asking the principals to establish in their schools are now fully furnished, courtesy of Erickson. So all of them will have a nice round conference table, maybe 8 or 10 chairs, some file cabinets. The Distance Learning Center at the high school benefited from a 20-foot-long conference table that is completely wired, has all the they could see, the whole, so you could access technology. And it really, we're very grateful to Erickson. I also want to credit the business office with this donation, because the coordination is not easy. When schools were closed last week, that all-purpose room was filled to the brim with furniture. And Mr. Oliveira and his secretary really coordinated the distribution to the individual schools, as well as our maintenance crew that Wednesday and Thursday just kept carting all this furniture out to the schools so that the all-purpose room would be available when students returned on Monday. So I thank you for that effort. We were interviewed by a couple of organizations because it appears that corporations throw this stuff in landfills all the time. And this is really very nice furniture. So, we're grateful to have been the recipients. And unfortunately, Mr. Tarana has been at almost all of our meetings, and tonight he isn't here. But thank you to the folks at Erickson. Just to bring to the board's attention that next Thursday night, May 2nd at 5:30, the Piscataway Education Foundation will be hosting a benefit. So 2 things are going on. This Sunday morning is the 5K, which benefits Project Graduation. Next Thursday evening, the foundation will be celebrating holidays around the world. And that, as you know, is a culinary competition that is our students participate in, but it is supervised by chefs from Sodexo. All of the materials at the competition are donated by Sodexo, the food, the expert chefs. And this year we're going to be celebrating holidays, and we will be celebrating Diwali, St. Patrick's Day, Thanksgiving, Chinese New Year, and Cinco de Mayo. So you, of course, know what countries we're celebrating. It is a benefit for the foundation, so if you can come out, it's a great opportunity to sample foods from around the world. This evening, on the agenda, we are asking the board to finally make the final adoption of our 1920 school budget. I went into a full presentation when you adopted the preliminary budget, so I won't go into a lot of detail. Suffice it to say that it is pretty much intact. We haven't made many revisions to it. We are grateful that the state is moving in the right direction towards giving Piscataway the aid to which we are entitled. And the additional state aid has been, we are able to invest in long overdue facility improvements, in upgrades to safety and security, as well as technology, which, as you know, has all been underfunded over the past several years. So, and having said that, I still want to point out that Piscataway's costs per students are well below the surrounding areas. We spend $17,200 on our students per student a year. Franklin is $22,800. South Plainfield, $19,400. Middlesex, $19,000. So as you can see, our costs are probably about $2,000 per student lower than surrounding districts. So I'm really proud of that. What we will fund in the coming year, of course, all of the basics, the New Jersey Student Learning Standards for everybody. We will be getting an additional ESL teacher. We have over 500 students in the district that require ESL services. There will be an additional academy at the high school in pre-law and justice, an additional nurse to accommodate increasing needs of our students, strengthening the grammar program in the elementary schools and the math program in grade 6. One major project will be the expansion of the iPad project into the high school. We'll be providing iPads to 9th and 10th graders, and we'll be funding additional security cameras, middle school football, and then we will be making some capital improvements, sidewalk and curbing and pavement at various schools throughout the district, especially the high school. We'll be able to replace the bleachers for our stadium at the high school. That will not be done this summer, it will be done the following summer, but the funds are in this year's budget. And the roof at our transportation building, which veteran board members have heard about for quite a while. So we are able to do all of that and still maintain all of the programs that we've been able to provide for students. The 1920 budget carries an annual increase of $41.10 on the average home, which is assessed at $329,000. So I thank the Finance Committee for their input in the development of this budget, and kudos to David Oliveira and his team that led the charge in assembling this budget. Know that the administration remains committed to providing the best possible program that we can provide at a cost that our taxpayers can absorb. So I thank you for your support. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. I'd like to echo and actually give thanks to Superintendent Rafferty for overseeing all of those people that you are giving accolades to, and for consistently having that awareness and keeping us on track. But thank you so much for your hard work, because we know this didn't come easily, so thank you. Any questions? Anybody have any questions, comments?
Well, I echo what everybody else has said, and it takes a lot of time and effort to put something like you see here together, and a real critical eye. The business administrator does a great job doing it. The only, I should have asked this question before, but under the enrollment area, I see, kind of sticks out at you. I just wanted your thoughts on whether or not the projected 21-22 chart there may come to fruition, because that's
What page are you on?
I'm on page 6.
Okay. Okay. It really is going to depend on the new construction. We're taking it slowly. As you know, Avalon is on track. We have not seen a great influx of children, but we do have the classrooms now that are ready at Grandview School, should that occur. We are able to accommodate the projected number of students from Avalon as they move through Arbor and then Quibbletown. So we will be able to accommodate the addition. We haven't yet seen the construction over by Roma Foods, so it's difficult to project what will come in. These projections include the completion of Krasinski and Avalon. That's what this includes. If there should be some other major project that gets underway and it materializes, the board is aware that with the villas at Fairway, We projected similar numbers based on the types of housing that are there. So far, we haven't yet seen though the number of students. We were expecting about 150 students in the district at the time that that's completed. It's nearing completion, and we have not seen that number of students.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you. Okay, item number 8. Do we have anyone wishing to make public comments this evening? Okay. A motion to close? No? Do you have a motion to close?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Item number 9, Dr. Connors?
Be it resolved, the following motion identified as item A be approved as presented.
Second.
Any further questions at this time? Okay. Seeing none, if we could call the roll, please.
Ms. Cherry?
Yes.
Dr. Connors?
Yes.
Mrs. Deepan?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin? Yes.
Oops.
Mr. Fields?
Yes.
Mrs. Hobson?
Yes.
Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Mrs. Lopez?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 10, Personnel and Labor Relations, Mrs. Deepan?
Be it resolved that the following motions identified as items A through C be approved as presented.
Second.
Okay, as there is no discussion on personnel or labor relations, if we could please call the roll.
Ms. Cherry?
Yes.
Dr. Connors?
Yes.
Mr. Fields?
Yes.
Mrs. Hobson?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Mrs. Deepan?
Yes.
Mrs. Lopez?
Yes to all except item B, D in B, and B under substitutes. Abstain.
Motion's carried.
Item number 11, approval of the minutes, Mr. Irwin.
Be it resolved that the following minutes be approved as submitted, the special meeting and executive session of April 3rd, 2019.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Be it resolved that the following minutes be approved as submitted, the business meeting and executive session of April 11th, 2019.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Sorry, I just got thrown off.
The first public comments was on the budget only, so
Yeah.
this is the regular.
Item number 12, public comments from the floor. Is there anybody wishing to speak this evening? Okay, do we have a motion to close?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we are closed. Item number 13, fiscal planning and operations, Dr. Connors.
Be it resolved, the following motions identified as items A and B be approved as presented.
Second.
Do you have any comments or questions on items A or B? Okay, seeing none, if we could call the roll, please.
Dr. Connors?
Yes.
Mr. Fields?
Yes.
Mrs. Hobson?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Ms. Cherry?
Yes.
Mrs. Deepan?
Yes.
Mrs. Lopez?
Okay, yes.
Motion's carried.
Item number 14, I don't believe we have anything under policy, correct? Okay, item number 15, curriculum, Ms. Cherry.
Be it resolved that the following motion identified as item A be approved as presented.
Second. Any questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, if we can call the roll, please.
Mrs. Hobson?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Ms. Cherry?
Yes.
Dr. Connors?
Yes.
Mr. Fields?
Yes.
Mrs. Deepan?
Yes.
Mrs. Lopez?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 16, pupil services. Mr. Fields, please.
Be it resolved that the following motion identified as item A be approved as presented.
Second.
Do we have any questions or comments related to item number A? Seeing none, if we could call the roll, please.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Ms. Cherry?
Yes.
Dr. Connors?
Yes.
Mr. Fields?
Yes.
Mrs. Hobson?
Yes.
Mrs. Depen?
Yes.
Mrs. Lopez?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 17, administrative and auxiliary. Mrs. Hobson, if you would give us a moment for Mr. Olivera to please read item D aloud. Sure. Thank you.
Item D, approval of revision to the 2018-2019 school calendar. Be it resolved that the 2018-2019 school calendar be revised to show Friday, May 24th, 2019, and Tuesday, May 28th, 2019, as days that the district is closed.
Be it resolved that the following motions identified as items A through D be approved as presented.
Second.
Any questions on items A through D?
I would just like to thank the Piscataway Soccer Club for donating seed once again. They always do a good job of keeping the field in good shape.
Thank you. Any other comments?
I just wanted to make a comment and express the appreciation of the district, which I know folks will be thrilled to express our appreciation to the Board of Education for the adjustment to the school calendar. The additional days that were closed, of course, are the result of not using days of inclement weather. And our staff, as the board is aware, has really had an emotionally trying year, and there were also some days that we were opened in the winter when some surrounding districts may have been closed. So sometimes they made personal sacrifices to get here, but on all days they were emotionally present for our students and really carried the ball when faced with some unusual situations. And they, our counselors and our teachers, as well as all of our other support staff, really rose to the challenge and provided our students with what they need. So I know I expressed their appreciation, and again, thank you to the Board of Education.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Items A through D. Okay. Seeing none, if we could call the roll, please.
Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Ms. Cherry?
Yes.
Dr. Connors?
Yes.
Mr. Fields?
Yes.
Mrs. Hobson?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mrs. Depen?
Yes.
Mrs. Lopez?
Yes.
Motion's carry.
Okay. Item number 18, I don't believe we have any committees that met, correct? Oh, we did.
No, we didn't meet, but I have an
Reported
update.
all
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So the Policy and Legislative Committee doesn't have a new report since its last meeting, but I just wanted to bring to the board's attention on the legislative front. The New Jersey School Boards Association Delegate Assembly is going to be taking place prior to our next meeting. Dr. Connors is our delegate, but he's unable to attend this year, so I'll be attending as the alternate. There will be one resolution that will be voted on by the Delegate Assembly. I haven't yet seen the resolution, so I don't know all of the details, but Dr. Connors is going to provide it for me tonight. I will PDF it and send it out to the rest of the board so everyone has a chance to read it and, sort of give me their opinion on it, how they would like Piscataway to be represented, and I'll vote however, the board sees fit on that particular resolution.
Any questions, comments? Thank you, Mr. Irwin. Any other updates